Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the TechGuy Podcast. And I think Apple is going to end their in this year with a bumpy, like not a good year for them in terms of internally and also in terms of product wise too, comparing to what is happening to them throughout the year. From start of the year, having their AI crisis, we talked about that throughout the year, even in the WWDC, even in their Apple launch event, how they totally ignored Apple AI, whatever they talked about in the last year, and also with the product lineup too, with launching Air. We will talk about that much more, why it is not a good thing that is happening internally too. And now in this year end that is happening, almost 1 week is left into this year, and I think they are uh, sending like e- ending the year with same thing what has happened throughout the year. And I feel like yeah, that is we are going to talk about in this episode too. And there are some internal chaos that we are going to talk about this in the pot, which is also important for the future of the Apple that is happening, going to happen in the next couple of years too. Apart from that, one of the biggest thing that is happening or has happened, you know, uh, in the last week, that is Disney and OpenAI deal, which is really important. Not just it is basically a deal between an entertainment industry and like a tech industry, but it is a way too much of a big deal upon seeing how the implications of it is going to be in further future. So I think when it comes to that, this deal is really important. Every other person, every other company, same as Disney or even tech industry, is looking towards this deal and how it is going to look forward and how it is going to be basically go well or not, people's response, how they even work it out or not together. And I feel like this is a big deal that is happening, and like I said, everyone is monitoring this deal, and that is why we are going to talk about it, its future implication, not just in general with the people, but people working in the entertainment industry, how and why this deal is not just simple as that, and why it is complex, and how it might change entertainment and content in couple of next year. This is just the starting point of it. So a lot to talk about, a lot of interesting topics. So let's just get into episode number 43 of the Tech Podcast, and let's just get into it. Before going into those deep topics, both two I talked about in the intro of this podcast, we will talk about our usual weekly AI news that we have. So past week we got new Gemini 3 Deep. Basically it's a upper model than the thinking model, uh, one step ahead. It's better, like I said, they said it is better than the thinking model before, so check that out if it has been given to you, if you are a pro subscriber or not. And yeah, then there is another chat gpt 5 model is out, chat gpt 5.2. And this, and we have talked about this throughout the year. I think this has become much more kind of an, I will say, a kind of a software update that it is hard to notice into it, like it is kind of a bug fixes. Sometimes I feel like when these updates roll on, especially from 5.1 to 5.2, 4.5, like these updates, whenever they give it out to these models, when you don't know, even to me, I don't know about the technicals or in the number games, it is hard to notice how it is better than the previous model. Yeah, they definitely gave these examples always when they give out new models, but the thing is, whenever they give examples, it's just those examples, how it is actually affecting and how actually it is reflecting towards your regular responses, or even if you have deployed AI into your workforce, or even even you are getting help from AI into your daily basis in terms of homework, in terms of working your projects, everything, how it is improving that from the previous model. Is it just the same? How those numbers that you are showing to us, is it going to, like, I've talked throughout the year and those numbers just don't understand. It's like, how smartphones have become towards the past 5 years. Yeah, like when someone will ask me to recommend a smartphone, I will just tell them you can definitely go and buy the previous 2 years phones, that is Samsung S24 or even S20, like what 3, or even like iPhone 15 Pro is way much better, you know. And still to this day the older phones are getting sold, you know. That 5% or 10% increment always seems negligible, and to person who is just going to use it on daily basis, uh, it is kind of an that kind of a deal. So these models are filling in that way. I might, if I have to give an example, that is the best example I can give to you guys. So I feel like we will I will understand more of it. I think in future we will talk about it. I know I'm saying that we need to talk about much more of this model, but yeah. So that is it both for the both of the model. You can check it out. Both of the models are out now for I think the paid subscribe model, and in couple of weeks it will given to the free users. So if you are a free user, you have to wait it out for a couple of time. uh, Apart from those two, a new browser has been announced this time from the Google. This browser is known as Disco. So basically DISCO, it's actually spelled like that. So this browser is in the development mode, so it is not fully deployed. You need to be in the wait list for to get this browser. So I will link down that wait list link in the comments, in the description of this podcast, so you can check it out and give you if you want. And wait, if you want to get into that browser, uh, you can just get it from their website. So like I said, Disco is not fully out. It is in the development. It is by Google. So they're trying to reimagine what a browser is. So like what Comet is trying to do, like what ChatGPT Atlas browser is trying to do, or even Arc, basically the new Dia browser that they are working on for past the year now, and they have shut down the Arc browser, which is one of the browser I was working on before. Uh, so yeah, I am one of those person who is obsessed, or like I want browsers to work really well. Uh, i am i have multiple browsers on, and I have talked about it before when ChatGPT Atlas came out. Like I have four browsers on constant, working on four different browsers, you know. From Edge, from Chrome basics to Zen browser, which my whole workplace is right now. From docs to managing my here emails. Then we have Opera, both Opera Air and Opera GX browser. Both are good, really well done browsers with lightweight, and I actually loved all those browsers and use for different types of reasons, because I don't actually want to get my all stuff in just one browser, and one day that browser just get, like, because I just don't want to my work to get stalled because of that one browser. So yeah, like I said before, I use multiple browsers for multiple times. So yeah, I'm into it too much, that's why we are talking about Disco here. Even though it is not fully out, uh, they're definitely trying to give something as different in the name of AI here. Because when Atlas browser came from not from basically OpenAI ChatGPT, it was so bad. Like when I looked up to the browser and how it is just felt like a regular browser, or not even a regular browser. It felt like a browser, uh, a ChatGPT specific app, but in a name of browser, that is in the name of Atlas. That's it. Browser is much more than that. There are so many things that can be added for browsing, for a person who is browsing on the internet or organizing the stuff. Like when I'm working on, I have what, multiple tabs open on, multiple folders. In between those folders there are multiple tabs. That's why I feel like you need some kind of organizational structure, not just ask the whatever the models you are in front of it, and just like, this is how I want, this is what I want. Like that is not just a browser experience. Folders, tab, you know uh, color system, workplace coloring system. Like color system means what I mean by like sorted out by color, sorted out by topics. Like there are so many small details that can be done there. And that's why like I talked about, Atlas is such a boring browser, and they did not even work on it. And I'm contrary to that of Comet much more feels like a browser. They are trying to give a basic browser experience with AI integrated in it, which actually what Google Gemini is in doing with Chrome is getting Gemini also getting integrated into it. So it is not too much different, but at least the integration is well there. So I loved both of them browsers, Google Gemini integrating in the Chrome, and also I'm using Comet browser on regular basis to test it out how it is. But here with the Disco browser, uh, it is kind of a different that what they are trying to give you here. What they are trying to sell you here in terms of AI. So the first feature they are introducing in this browser is called Gen tabs. So basically, Gen tabs is kind of an, I will say, combination of what in if you are a Google Gemini user. If you are a Google Gemini user, you might know the feature like Canvas, feature like guided learning, feature like those kind of feature, Canvas guided learning, where you have multiple tabs open on, like not just tab system, but it creates for you a lot of things, not just give you the answer. And it is just like that, but getting integrated well enough into browsers. So they have given a couple of examples in it, which I actually liked. So a couple of examples like meal planner, trip planner, or learning something. You can do that in your regular Gemini too. But in this browser, it is the reason I call it is well integrated. It does not feel raw. It feels like it is kind of a feature here. So basically, let's say you are trying a trip planner or a meal planner basically, and you give your specifications to it, and it goes on the internet, browses for you, and gives out the sources. Now, not just giving out the sources, it just can plan a meal for you in terms of visually. You can just click on it. So it is kind of an interactive browser, well done. You have to look onto it. Like I will say, I will link down the video of, or even the blog post done by the um, labs, Gemini labs. Basically, the Google has Gemini labs where they work on these features before employing it. So it is kind of a future of browser where they are trying to give you something that is much more polished and much more not just copy paste or copy paste features or copy paste what we can say, just a chatbot, AI chatbot into a new form calling, and in the name of calling it like an Atlas browser, what ChatGPT did. So that's why I'm interested in it, in using it. And that's why I felt like, when it comes to integrating AI is, like I said, really hard in terms of what it is actually good at it and how it can improve from what it is right now. Because one thing I will definitely say to you guys, that when it comes to integrating AI with anything that we have existing right now, whether it is browser, whether it is phone, it is not going to just like instantly blow your mind. It is one of those things that it will increase your productivity by 10 to 20%, at least what at the stage we are right now. We have to think of an AI, because AI is such a broad technology where we don't know how it is going to, how well we are going to integrate, and how and which features we can make from it. There are a lot of just insane infinite level of possibilities when it comes to this technology. But to integrate this technology into your workforce or into your features like existing, like let's say in this example what we are trying to speak out is about browsers. So just say AI browsers is, you can just copy paste or integrate AI chatbot into your browser. But does it make a kind of an, yeah, it makes sense integrating AI into your own browser, and well integrated, so that you don't have much, like you don't have to spend too much time on switching and going back and forth from the chatbot AI app to the browser. So it is increasing definitely your time, and your management skills will be definitely improved there. But reimagining much more ahead of that, something that we can be easier. Like I said, the best example that they have given is meal planner or trip planner that we regular do on our, especially on our browsers. When you take out your PC laptops and just when you have to plan something, you have multiple tabs open on. Then if you have something kind of like gen labs or like gen tabs here that they are calling, it gets much more simpler. It increases your or decreases your basically the gap between uh, the end goal you want to have and the amount of work you have to put out before and after is much lower. And what you want, actually, you can just type it out, you can visualize it, you can basically get the PDF of it, all of it. You can basically, like, there are a lot of things can be done here, so just that strain or that inconvenience of what we had before and what we will not be having in next couple of years due to these AI browsers is that is, like I said, that just increment or like that's the increase of productivity. That is what I mean by that, just decreasing the inconvenience we had over the years of doing a solo trip or planning something solo, where you are not trying to get help from anybody, but you want to explore on your own, even with somebody. But just having that information on to go, something that is kind of an easy to get, do things for you much better, you know because one of the things that AI is doing better, and when it is getting integrated in your workplace or even within your I will say whatever work you are doing, it is definitely not going to be like just like uh, decrease your job value or even like ultimately eliminate it, at least for now what it is. At least what we are right now, it is definitely will be getting and generating tools to increase your productivity, in a sense like decrease the time of what you are working on, and you will definitely get more and more uh, output at less amount of time with the help of these tools. So I think that is what I want from gen labs or any other AI tools that we are getting. At least throughout this year we did not get too many of it, I will definitely say. I will plan, I have also said it before that I will talk about much more about AI use, and I'm making a separate video on the actual AI use and how it is helping out people, at least for now, and why it is so much difficult to just eliminate jobs and to just completely dis- get off the people on their workforce, because it is not that easy, it is complex. And we will talk about that in future episode definitely, or next week probably, depend upon how the topics are, because you know so yeah, I think that are thoughts regarding basically Disco browser that Google is working on. uh, I hope we get much more optimized, much more clearer way of how these browsers and what and how we can integrate AI in it can be much more difficult than before, definitely, because what we have right now in terms of AI, so not AI, in terms of products, in terms of software products too, we already have what is better right now. So to do something or just like to get like discover something new in terms of future that will help us is not an easy task. So that's where people comes in, new companies are trying to get it. You might be seeing a lot of advertisement before how you can improve your work, you can improve just by using your voice, just by using talking to the mic. You can get your whole like summarizing things. You can like how it is just the stage of AI right now. How it is, I will say, is uh, getting to improvise what you are actually working on. Like if you are a writer, this is how you can improve on, these are the sources are always will be ready with you. Like if you want to research something, yeah, is this research available or not. If you are a book writer, yeah, it is available, this is here for you, you know. That's what perplexity patents feature was basically, you know, for a lot of people, or in terms of research wise, they have launched couple of months ago that we talked about. Same goes for a lot of features that they are giving you right now. It is features, those features that they want to implement you in your workplace. So basically generate the revenue through you using their tools and you increasing your productivity. So basically same thing that happened a decade ago with the digital industry growing up. So yeah, so like I said, I think, yeah, AI. So like I said, I think, yeah, AI and its usefulness and actual use of it is hard to get on to it. I will definitely say we will talk about much more in when after I release that video that I'm working on, you know. I need to think about it much more, and after that video is released, and then we can talk much deeper in this our podcast. So yeah, so let's head on to the big deal that I talked about in the intro. But before going that, I want to mention a YouTube channel, not because you might find it entertainment or you might find it good. It is good actually, but it just shows how what YouTube is and what a YouTube as a platform can do to you. Like what is YouTube providing to you and what means barrier of entry so low that you can do anything on it. So one of that channel name is the guard rail guy. So basically he is a guy who talks about and majority makes a shorts about how the guardrails, up on the side of the roads are not in the safety measurements that we need to do it, properly. Like talking about the companies, talking about how corruption happens in them, so he has made a big impact in that, and the reason why he does it because he lost one of his family member, his daughter, because of that in an accident, because of that cartel going through car which is not safe, you know so basically that he all like majority of the videos that he talked about in that, like that is the whole channel. He talks about guardrails, and when I kind of an got up into his channel, I thought it was he was just doing sarcastic, not just like I was scrolling through YouTube shorts and I was like, who is this guy? Is this a sarcastic way of talking, or like is he making a joke? Because and then I saw like wow, 3,000 comments. Like I was like, people may be making fun of it, or this was, I thought this was his content, some kind of a. Then I go to his basically comments, and the people were commenting like, you are doing a good work, you are a good, like that is how you can make a change. I was like, whoa. Like then I got to his page and he talked, and I got to his in the description of his channel there is whole the reason why he talks about the guardrails on the roadsides, and like that is like insane, the work he's doing. And that is what I feel like, as a platform, what YouTube means. Not just like talking about this, not just this issue, but what I mean by what YouTube means is like it can just give the platform to anyone, whatever the topic you want to talk about, and the barrier to entry is so low. You just need a smartphone, which majority of the people have, and the internet too, which again majority of the people have. That's it. That's the only thing you need to enter on YouTube, and obviously Google account. And yeah, then you are just, yeah, whatever the issue and whatever the topics you want to talk about, just whatever it is, just because of that barrier to entry and what the whole audience on the YouTube, they can definitely see it and support it and talk about it. That's I think what YouTube is and still is. Because of that, I feel like that is why I entered into YouTube first, not into any other platform, because you can just make and start from scratch whatever it is you are working on, whatever issues you wanna raise, and you can monetize it. You can give it to larger audience and find your audience in it. And I feel like that is why I'm on this platform. And that is what I feel like YouTube as a whole platform is. Like, it just gives the barrier of entry so low that anyone can do it. That is like kind of an hope and the motto of this whole communities on the YouTube, and that's our audience even supports it too overall. So yeah, if you want to check his channel, he is, I think, his channel, he's in the US, I feel like. So if you are watching from there, you can definitely go check that guy. Awesome content, awesome, like the amount of details he talked about why it is unsafe sometimes. I feel like, some people might be like, why you are talking about this simple thing that not even will cause anything. But yeah, that is small mistake can be fatal for everyone, and it has to be him to his daughter too. So I feel like you should go and check out his channel. Awesome guy, talks about a lot of things, like guardrails. Like, you will get the information. Like, I was just scrolling for half an hour throughout his channel. Like, he was just talking about guardrails and here and there. So yeah, like, I just wanted to take this tangent and talk about this, the guard rail guy. So yeah, let's get into the topics right now. The big topic that the reason I'm enforcing that as a big topic, you will get to know why, and why it is important to a lot of people to think about this deal, because future is going to set, this is the future, this deal is going to set the future of a lot of things in next couple of year, in 5 to 6 year. This is where I think it started, just like what OpenAI did with Sora last year. This is what is going to happen with this new deal. And even so, yeah, let's just get into it, rather than to the deal I'm talking about this in this video is OpenAI and Disney. They made a deal with them. Disney made a Disney made a deal with OpenAI where Disney will be investing $1 billion as equity in OpenAI as a in company, and in return, OpenAI will get 200, more than 200 kind of characters from Disney to let OpenAI in their Sora AI app to make generative content of those characters. Okay, so $1 billion deal means here, that is Disney is just investing in that company, and OpenAI will in return get those 200 characters from the Disney. And according to sources from a report from a router website, I will also link out that, also I will also link that in the description. And this deal was supposed to happen a lot earlier, not just earlier, but they were in talks, and this deal and is going to was going to happen for a lot of period of time. They were in the talks. That is what I heard from that website, and so the reason why this deal is important is, when I talked about when OpenAI launched their Sora AI app, where you can generate your like yourself, your videos, or other people videos, if they have given you the like permission to use their identity in the app to use it. So the reason, like the reason I talked about back before Sora AI, because in that podcast when Sora AI came and is now public, or not towards the whole world, it is still now in US and some other countries here, in Asia. It is still not available here in India. So the reason I'm talking in that episode, I talked about how and what will happen to when about those characters, Marvel characters, Disney characters, DC characters, those IPs that are already existed. How are they going to get integrated? How are they going to get or make deals with these companies? And now I'm saying it was kind of an easy, much more easier for them to do it. But I think they were just trying to find a balance between what they can give in return, and it was an equity in their own company. But the reason I said it was difficult, and that because we know people's sentiments towards AI, and how it is. Like, some like there are, like, we don't want that AI slop basically, and which is actually making people, kind of an it is getting such and such better and better into creating fake scenarios, fake things that doesn't exist, from those characters, maybe from people's identity being used, as even if they don't give permissions. That OpenAI even made a statements regarding that. I think I remember uh, which guy. The actor Morgan Freeman, you know his voice was being used without his permission, and then OpenAI has to obviously remove it, and they made a statement regarding it. He made a statement regarding it, like he doesn't want to his voice to be used in this way. So it's not that OpenAI has been using, or like there might be people be using people's, even at least public people who are in public, their public figures, they might be getting used. So apart from that, I was like also thinking about what about the companies like Marvel or DC's comic books, uh, these characters, what is going to happen with them. How are they going to make deals with them, because it is a complicated deals. And even if they, let's say, agree with it, when making of these characters, AI slob, the problem is how and what actually the characters are they going to give to these people. Because on popular basis, these characters are now in movies form, movies, shows, and they have different costumes, they have different designs. It's like, what I mean by that, what actual characters that they are giving to basically OpenAI, you know is that because the deals get complicated and complicated over the period of time. Because movies are like, or even though will say it all comes into under one studio or one company, that is Disney, in case of Marvel, where even in case of DC too, where the whole deal comes under the Warner Brothers or whole DC, or Disney as a company, because they own it. But it is not that simple. you know as actors who don't want AI to be used as in AI slop videos, the thing the things that the people will be making from their identity, from their voice easily, as much as just typing one single sentences, is just terrifying. So the thing is, people don't like this kind of stuff, especially the actors who are working on it, people who have public appearances, public figures, that not just being actors but lot of things. But I am just calling all people who are in public influencers, like public figures, that includes actors in them too. So when it comes to that, those deals, when, let's say, Disney gave whole rights from making, you can make, let's say, those of these characters of, you can make just, if they are using actors and their faces and their voices, I don't think uh, actors will love it. And I don't think it is going to be such an easy deal to go forward. The reason I'm telling this is, one of the biggest challenges throughout last year, since the Sora app has been introduced, is the identity crisis. Basically, what I mean by that is how people will reserve their identity. Like, when I talked about how Google Gemini launched, Imagine, or now like the banana model, it is so good. Like, anyone can make anything from a person's perspective. Like, what I mean by that, like, I can take a random person's photo, you know and I can make videos of those people, and videos, images, whatever the type of prompts I give to him. And it is not okay, I feel like, giving this level of technology, giving this level of freedom to all the people on the earth, to just, you can just click a photo, or even if you have their one of their videos, you can just get and generate whatever the images and videos they have, and you can just like blackmail people out of the blue. It is going to be such easy, you know. Even before AI coming, it was difficult with Photoshop to people let even understand this, that it is Photoshop, you know. And as these models are getting better and better and better, it is going to be much more difficult to just find out if it is AI generated or not. And 90% of the people I have seen, whenever there is a fake video surfacing of anyone or anything related to even news articles or even news of anything event happening or any kind of personal stuff that has been shared on the internet, 90% of the people are just like believes it. And then there is 10% of people, oh, it is fake, it was just a fake video. And like that is what happened. And the initial blow, that when videos that when the video that get just blown, people who just people who just don't understand these uh, tech or this whatever is happening, they will not ultimately believe it, you know. So when I think of it in this scenario, like I talked about how identity is going to be really important and not to be used. And the solution from Sora app was, you can go to the app and download it. You can prefer not to use my identity, which is not good. Like I just don't want to let people to be random click on the photo or even video that been used in a certain way, especially to scam people, you know. Like lot of times in past 2 years has been happening, getting popular faces of Mr. Beast, Mr. where he promotes and scam betting app, you know. Even though he is not there, people believe it sometimes. Like I have seen like hundreds of comments in those kind of videos. It's like they are like, even like, it is just hard to know, to get to people like awareness of it, even though they are using it actively. So now it is coming to these big movies and their actors who are working on these movies. Now if let's say in this deal just only involves, let's say, the designs of these characters, the character designs and how they are originally, what they patent they own, basically the IP rights of these characters they own, are they just going to use that, or they're going to use the comic designs of these characters? Like, you know, every year comics are coming out, every year a new movie is coming out, new characters or designs are coming out. Are they going to get in this deal too? Are actors, basically the who worked on these movies throughout the last a decade, are their faces and voices are going to you getting used in this Sora AI app to generate things? And if it is, it was not mentioned in their deal. You know what I'm trying to say is, like, if if like it's the same thing that is happening, you know, in the industry of entertainment industry right now, where actors are being aware not be able to give their AI, like not AI but their face scan, or you know, getting their face scan, because they can use it for later on, just even if they don't need those actors, which is kind of scary. Like what they are ultimately trying to do, use these actors, use their faces, use their identity, and profit over them, and not even giving them kind of and share in it, you know. And some people just don't want it. Like I talked about Morgan Freeman, his voice, like, you know him, his voice is so popular that people do like him because of his voice, and that is his identity basically. And now people used to make videos on Sora AI app because of his through his voice, and he did not liked it. Even if it is monetizable, he did not wanted it, they removed it, and that was it. So it is like I said, a complex deal in it, when they try to mention, or when they give the permission of this new, not just the actors but the new comic books too. You know, these artists are making on regular basis, yearly, like the new issues always come, the new iteration of these characters always come, you know. And it's just not that, it will involves the character, basically, its uniqueness, what it's not just design, not just facial expression in those original design, what they own, it also the characteristics. So the amount of characters that, like, different version of a same character involves, we don't know what OpenAI actually is getting here. What I am ultimately getting into here is, like, we don't know what actually OpenAI is getting here with these 200 characters. And if they make a deal, and if they got a permission of getting used of these actors who have worked on this, like it's just like stealing their work blatantly, you know. And because of this deal happening with OpenAI, and like there are a lot of obviously guilds that are worried and basically reaching out to Disney to discuss about these deals, and basically making sure that people, even if they are making this deal ahead, the people are getting compensated because of this. People are getting, especially the actors whose identity and whose face basically are going to get used in these apps and get generating. So it is kind of an important in this way. That's why I said it is literally a complicated deal, and that's why we don't have too much kind of an information, even though they mention in OpenAI and Disney in their blog post that they want to respect the identity and the work people have put on this character. So I mean, they are definitely going to use their work. It's just how they are going to make this deal further, because if they just blatantly go ahead and make a deal without even informing not just people who are worked on it but also others, it is going to be a lot of backlash. Like I said, that's why this deal is crucial for the start of it, because if this deal works and will work on this with the help, like everyone gets their permission or everyone gets involved in it and have kind of an, I will say, a say in it, like agrees into one kind of an agreement, let's say from actor side, from guild side, from creative people who have worked on it, the dialogue writers, the writers, a lot of things, designers, a lot of people who have worked on the movie. Well, if they agree on this kind of stuff, whatever the contract they are signing, I think then we will be getting a lot of deals, like from Warner Bros, DC's characters are there, a lot of characters are there from that side too. Then there are a lot of comic books out there, just like the Boys comic book who has gotten the Amazon Prime, uh, Amazon Prime's series Fallout. uh, no, not Fallout, sorry, Fallout is a game adaptation, but the Boys show, the Boys comics. Then we have, then whole gaming industry, they will also try to make this deal. So like I said, this deal is going to define a lot of deals in future, because if they make it a deal right and make people agree, people like, they, when if they come to an agreement, even if they come to an agreement, it is going to get a complicated deal. Not all people want to get involved in it, not all actors want to get involved in it. And if the people get don't get, like, even, and then there are guilds involved and there are union involved, like I said always. So it's a complicated deal that they are talking about. So I hope they, whatever is coming in next couple of months throughout this deal is a positive for the people who have worked in it, because we have seen time on time how these companies just exploit actors before and their work, by making and signing them contracts, and giving them less compensation, whatever it is. And now then this, with the help of AI and Sora and OpenAI. And one of the reasons I feel like, not just this, but as we go more and more further, it is going to get difficult, like I even talked before with when Sora AI came, and when Google uh, Imagine and banana, like their banana model came out. It is going to be really really difficult for a lot of people in future, because digital media is going to be a lot more different in next coming 5 to 6 year. It is not going to be simple for a lot of people. It is going to be totally different. And that brings the issue of people who are working now on the movies as an actor, movies, shows, even in games, or even if you're writing your own comics, like you, if you have something if you have worked on, and you can make basically the copyright issue of, like, basically, if you have worked on something, if you have done something, I will definitely highly recommend just go and just like make this legal, or whatever you have worked on, whether it is character designs, whether it is full on shows, characters, it is important to do it, because if you don't do it legally, they do have kind of a much of a bigger hand with the help of money and the power they get from the people they have worked on before. So I feel like if you are starting from now, if you have worked on before, if you have not even think of, I think a lot of people will be making a lot of deals in future about their characters, that like artists and actors and people, public influencer, content creators, they their and their identity bit need to be used. Like we don't need, I don't want people to think like the fake scamming is going to be a lot of, you know, getting much more evolved in future, and people get scammed easily even after so many giving basic education before, because of it, because they are finding newer and newer ways, complicated ways to just scam people. So using people identity is going, identity laws will be different. I hope it should be different in future. And the the company like OpenAI, like that's why when OpenAI launched Sora AI last year, one of the biggest reason is like, for me the concern was like how they are going to deploy it. You know, if let's say someone just use this app to generate other people's, from other people work, from other, like one of the basic or one of the hardest thing for still to this day, it has not been solved, but they is just, yeah, we don't care, and they have just deployed it, you know. And that's why it creates a lot of chaos. And we talked about before like how YouTube has become, and has not just YouTube, all the social media platform has got an AI slop in it, you know. And one of the reason I talked about because of this is going to affect people in general, and not just companies. You know, they have legal ways to get away from this. Like they are now selling APIs of these, you know, to other companies. So there are be a lot of sub companies under this, who will be using OpenAI's model, these all AI models, and making something that is definitely not ethical, and people using people's identity and using people's a lot of things. So what I'm trying to say ultimately here, you know, this deal what Disney and OpenAI is a big deal in entertainment industry right now, because at least the public people, whatever it is, it has still not gotten to a place that people are getting, like I have not seen too many, but as the period goes, as the time goes and goes further, it is going to much more difficult to let people understand how it is and why it is AI. Even if it is so gets so good, you know, it will get so good, it is hard to just understand if it is AI or not. So that's why I said this deal of Disney and OpenAI is going to just be a kind of a mark in the history, at least for now, because in next 5 to 6 years, because of this deal, what other solutions companies will be using to get a deal of getting AI. Because the reason these companies want AI generated content of this character and give people on the power to give it is because, first thing first, it's a good PR. People will be, these characters will be upfront in front of people a lot of time. In case of Disney here, Disney has a lot of family friendly content, and Disney knows and is known for that. And that's why when it comes to Disney and their characters, that's why they are getting a new experience for Disney Plus. Like with this new AI generated content, AI slop, they will integrate that in their own Disney app, Disney Plus app, and vertical shows will be there, vertical characters, like not just like a social media, but they will create AI full on characters and AI shows full on this it. And it has already been happened, like in India, if you don't know, the whole Mahabharat AI show is already there, you know, which is so bad, you know. Like we know it's AI at least from the start of it, but it's not stopping them, because you say it's unethical, because you say it's, yeah, it's like I said, they can make it, because Mahabharat is the IP that they can make it. It's not like it is someone's own IP. It is one of the scriptures that is available that anyone can make it, whatever it is. So like I said, legal ways, no one is stopping them to make it, you know, that those companies, like I said, that's why have a legally protected your content, protected your art, protected your whatever you are made, and you can just, then you have that protection, then you can just like have, then you can decide if you want to make a deal or not. But apart from that, Disney can control a lot of things because of this, you know. Disney will be controlling how these characters and what kind of content that is being generated because of AI, Sora AI app. Because one of the things, this, if you don't know, is the fan art of whatever for the last 2 decades. Like whenever these characters came out, whenever the artists make fan art of it, Disney can't control everyone in it. Disney, even if legally they can take down those some of the artworks they don't like, they don't want this kind of image of those characters of whatever they have created. They just don't do it because they think of it as a free PR, free PR of these characters, so characters remain relevant even after decades of those characters being out. Lion King is one of the best examples. uh, Cinderella is one of the best examples. Like I said, throughout the years. So same goes for here. That same strategy that they are applying, it is one of the most big PR move for them. Their characters, people will be getting creative with it. And the second thing is, whatever the people are generating, they can just take it down by, like, yeah, we don't like the whatever that person has generated of that character, they can just take down that video. Because first of all, that person or whoever it is making those kind of AI generation, if they don't agree with, if Disney won't allow it, they will be not be making it. So what I'm trying to say here is, ultimately, is that it is a controlled thing what Disney can control it, and also a PR move, and also an basically a business move from them. And that's why I said it is kind of a complex move going further down the line. If you think about getting whatever access, if they think giving to the OpenAI, it is going to get much more complicated. That's why I said a lot of people are looking forward to this deal, not just Disney but other companies. Like Warner Brothers is looking towards this deal, Netflix is looking towards this deal. Like a lot of just big studios, industries in the entertainment at least, looking for this deal, is because they want this. They are seeing if this deal goes well, and this is how the deals should be in future, they will, the next future deals will be just easier for them to make. That's why I said it will be changing the entertainment industry in next 5 to 6 years because of this deal that is happening right now, that is of Disney and OpenAI deal. And ultimately Disney is in the safe hands. They are given $1 billion investment, equity investment in OpenAI. And so yeah, if OpenAI takes off in next couple of years, which is again hard to do it, but they just have a lot of chances of being one of the most safe position they are right now in here. So that's why I said, like, this is a bigger deal, much more looking into your future. That's why a lot of people are looking into it, and I'm also looking forward to it, like how they are going to make this deal. Are they even considering these identities or people, or misuse or ethical? At least I hope they do it, and we get a much more kind of an, I will say, in between deal. So if some people just don't want it, they can choose to ignore, like they can choose to exclude themselves. If some actors don't want it, they can exclude it. If some want actors don't mind their voice and their images being used like that, what they are being will be generated in the OpenAI, they can. So that is what I want, and at least getting compensated by it. So I hope they get it, and I hope a good deal is being made, because I don't think there is a future where this deal doesn't happen. This deal will happen no matter what. From both possibilities, one possibility is they just go ahead with it, they don't consider, like they will say, we don't care, we will make it. And then there is other deal, they will consider all people's opinion, guild's opinion, actors opinion, and then they will make a good deal going further, that they are definitely going to do. Because this deal does not mean that OpenAI has gotten, or Sora AI, from the next day you are going to get starting to make this character. No, it is going to be an ongoing process. So in early 2026, we will be seeing the first draft of this bill, or like the first deployment of this deal, and how it is, and the implication they will see it. uh, this is a 5-year deal, so Disney will, these characters for OpenAI Sora has, so till 2033, this character 2033 or 2034, this character Sora AI can be used. So yeah, this is just a testing phase, and like I said, a very important deal, and we will talk much more as we will get much more updates from anyone, from OpenAI, from Disney, or even any other sources we get of it. So yeah, we will take a break here, and yeah, after a break we will be talking about Apple and their whole situation throughout the year, and why they are being so low in the entire neck, like from since past 5 years, why it is so hard for them to overcome, at least for now, why their road is being bumpy so much. So yeah, we will take a break, and after a break we will talk about that. So yeah, so welcome back. Now let's talk about the situation I was talking about, the Apple situation. Again, throughout the year we are talking about a lot the internal problems they are having, and AI crisis, the major one. So yeah, throughout the year Apple has a lot of problem. We talked about it, and I think they are going to, like I said, in even the end of year they are having a lot of trouble and a lot of internal chaos that are happening. So it is coming from Mark Gurman, this news. If you don't know Mark Gurman, we have talked about him before multiple times. I have used his sources, used his articles as kind of an to you guys. So he is majorly talks about Apple and breaking news from inside insider news. So yeah, you can trust this guy. If you want, I will link down his Twitter account in the link in the description too, if you wanna have like regular updates or what it is, like his blog post. He worked in he So coming from Mark Gurman, like I saw talked about, Apple uh, Apple interface design chief Alan Dye is leaving to join Meta. So he is a person who worked on Vision Pro, basically Vision, iOS, and watches, basically OS. So he is the one also worked on Liquid Glass this year. He is the guy who is leaving Apple to join Meta. And one of the biggest part of our Apple is the design, the and the person. This is a big deal. So he has already left. A lot of COO, CFO, and head of AI in just 1 year, that has been definitely left. But even chief chief chef chief chef Johnny Shroj, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, wanted to go too, but he's still on. uh, so he talked about that he was. Then we have Cheng Shen. Again, sorry for the name, the way I'm pronouncing it. I don't know if it's right or not. But Cheng Shen, head of optics for Vision Pro, is hired by OpenAI hardware division. Like, from this couple of two three people I name, you can just clearly see what the problem is happening in OpenAI. This is a total kind of an internal chaos that I think is easy to solve, and Tim Cook can definitely handle this situation easily. You know, these are some internal situations that Tim Cook can even handle. That is not a big of a deal to even look forward for me, even like, because you can definitely there are definitely other people who are working on there can get replaced. But yeah, not even going to the internal chaos, but looking what Apple did throughout the year, I don't think that is the major problem that Apple is facing. Apple is still behind AI, 1 year behind AI with every other company. Now, I talked about before, when I will say if iPhone 17 got launched, that Apple did not need to get ahead of anyone, or Apple does not even need to rush AI, because getting two steps back does not mean that they are kind of, and like I said, backing off. You know, they're definitely backing off. Does not mean they, like, it will affect them too much. because AI is at a stage right now, because it's even hard for the companies to integrate in their products. So yeah, like I said before, it is no need to rush, but not no need to rush intentionally, and uh, no need to rush intentionally is totally different from no need to rush that they are not even prepared of. What I mean by that, it's not that they are intentionally not it's not that they are intentionally behind. They are behind because they can't get their work done. They talked about Apple Intelligence last year, and still to this day we still don't have Apple Intelligence full on what they talked and what they promised last year. And they still don't talked about Siri and improved Siri still to this day. And that's why my title of the iPhone 17 Pro was, at least they did not over promise something, just like last year. Over promises over, like, not done this year, and that's why people are not too much talking about it like last year. you know so one thing I definitely can say is, like, intentionally holding back something you are working on is the Apple way. Apple does a lot of time. It's not like Apple is ahead of someone, like, too far away in terms of their tech, in terms of their product. It's just they do it really well in a perfected way, even if they are coming late into the game. Like, even to the I think to the base iPhone 17, the promotion came so late that this year when promotion got announced, people were just like, this is the best possible iPhone you can get right now. This is the best possible iPhone that you can get right now. So this is what I'm trying to say. Apple is definitely intentionally behind a lot of things. They know what they are going to launch in 2 years, or what features they are going to launch, because they have held back this feature and now they are going to launch it. That is apart, or that is totally different from a failure what happened last year with Apple Intelligence, and the failure with their Vision Pro headset, if you even remember it. So when Vision Pro even got to public, the initial reaction was, it is insanely good. The hardware is way much premium than the Meta one. Like, it is definitely better, especially the pass through vision, the XR one, with whole 3D, like the space you can see yourself. But the problem was, it was too expensive, and the improvement from the last Vision Pro and to this Vision Pro is too negligible. Like, it is not even point to even talked about, like what you can get in the latest Vision Pro. It's not the second gen, we know it, but I was hoping from Apple to at least get the second gen Vision Pro, or at least get the later Vision Pro this year when they launched their iPhone 17. But they did not. But they are behind in the Vision Pro, they are behind in the AI, and they are also behind in the foldables too. Next year, or not even next year, Samsung launched their trifold last week, and we even talked about it like couple 2 weeks ago. Samsung is going to launch that product next year. That is most probably in their January event, when they launch their Ultra Series 2. And they are commercializing, like, it is a commercial product, people can use it, and it is actually good. The first gen trifold is way much better than the first gen foldable. So it's like Samsung is in the trifold era of their, basically, the foldables. And here we see Apple not even their first gen in when it comes to foldable. Now we have not just rumors, but we have seen with the iPhone Air what they can do with a thin phone. Because obviously we were definitely talking about how iPhone Air is just one half of a foldable, you know. But I hope the foldable that we are getting next year is at least as a level of, not a first gen of what Samsung was, but at least at as par as what other companies are been doing with the foldables. Apple is one of those companies who do not rush. I know that, we know that. But just because you're not intentionally rushing it does not mean you can ignore their failures, especially with the AI and the Vision Pro. The reason I'm calling those failure is because they did not, first of all, even got released. First of all, with the AI, and the second thing with the Vision Pro is that it is so niche product into that so much high category price. I don't know who are they making this product for. Even now when we seeing the Meta, what they are doing with the Meta display Ray-Ban glasses, and now we are hearing even rumors from Apple that they are holding back the development of Vision Pro, and they are trying to uh, speed up the production of their glasses too. So I was like, why are you not even prepared? Like, because of this news and this articles and these rumors, we can just like assume that they are not ready for a lot of things, and there are a lot of internal things happening. Like I said, the people change, the executives change, but also internal working system is also not working, like I'm trying to say here. And that's why I feel like even the iPhone Air, when they launched this year, it is a really good product, one of the most beautiful product you will at least see in terms of in frame. I have not hold it, but people say it is really good. It is really s- like lighter. Then it is just hard to recommend. It is way much more expensive than the base 17, and it is lighter, and it is has low battery. It is like it will get much more battery will get much more damage over the period of like so many complications, too hard to recommend to a lot of people in that range of price that they are trying to sell it. So it is not good. And we again have statistics that are coming out that iPhone Air is getting less sell as what Apple was expecting. So yeah, it is one of those year, like you can just see from the reviews of people who have used it, how what kind of phone is that, and what and why they're difficult to recommend that phone. So you can just see the new product, entire new product they launch this year is kind of an like not giving like living up to its hype, not just living up to its hype, but it is not a like who asked for this product kind of an category. Like a lot of reviewers from uh, MKBHD, and even Mr. Who's the Boss, like David, like a lot of people just the only reason was why we need this product. Why we just need a lighter iPhone Air. And when I talked about in the event launch podcast, my prediction was and still is, in next 2 years this product will get not further, and we will get like just like what happened to iPhone SE or iPhone minis, this will get discontinued, and we will be having just foldables. So that's why I say like lot of failures, lot of things not going in the Apple way, not going in their side. And because of that, the company is having a lot of trouble over the year of time. Like sometimes I just like what Samsung approaches towards their product. Just get into it, launch it, and we will perfect it over the generation of period. Like what happened with the foldables, even though it was so ugly, just giving it a hand, the first gen Samsung, just looking at that product, it was so ugly now when you're looking at. But at that time it was just like, damn, you just have something kind of a phone in your pocket that like folds in half. That was just a selling point for that whole phone. Now we are at the point like it is getting so better in terms of performance. A lot of people are using it, the 7th gen foldable ones. Even the flip phones are getting being used by a lot of people I see. And then the Apple is entering the market, and I hope that we get a better first gen and not a hold back first gen, at least in terms of hardware. That is Apple at least good at, I believe that. And I hope we see a better smartphone and foldable next year. So yeah, uh, that was like the whole thing about what is happening with the Apple, the internal chaos and internal things that are definitely changed throughout the whole year from executive point of perspective. Like like if you can look from their perspective, like there is kind of a complication, and it is kind of, and I will say, as Tim Cook is transitioning, because he will be stepping down from the CEO, and new person will be the CEO of the like face of the Apple it is going to be a lot of chaos in next year too. I hope you get new products, because we will be doing next podcast we will be doing predictions of a lot of things, like what what kind of products and how kind of products are we going to get from a lot of these companies, like predictions for 2026. And also we are going to do a recap in one podcast. Also we are going to do a recap of 2025 too. So yeah, so I think that is it. um, that was it, I will say, at least for right now in Apple case. If we have any kind of new rumors or new sources or new updates regarding their new product line, whatever it is, we will be talking about it here. uh, let's say if they like, it's not that they will not, the ultimate thing or the conclusion here is, it's not that the big companies just like Apple, it's a $1 trillion company. It's not that they are going to be the, it's a solution, it's a problem that will be solvable. The problem is how much time they will be needing to just solve this problem. They have wasted just the entire year on the AI. Again, it has still not come what they have promised, what in 2024, and we are entering now in 2026. And WWDC, let's see what happens. So like I said, it is a problem. We will, like, because of this we are getting not a good product line from them for like past 2 years. We are, and that's why I also thought, when 2026, that's why I also thought in 2024, when they uh, when they predicted, like, even they knew, I think the AI one was not going to happen, even in 2025. I think that's why they did a lot of things, like they got into development for Apple Air, and also they got in the development for the new overall full bold look for, the iPhones. Because for the past 5 years, we have 5 to 6 years, we are seeing same iPhone camera bumps, same design from them, not too much kind of a change in terms of design. And this year, when they don't give, when in this year, when they have a lot of problems where AI is still not on the product line and a lot of things are happening in the company, they do a bold change and just change the whole design of the camera, and they call it now plateau. They gave us a bold color like orange too, and a new product line, like a new product like iPhone Air. So you can just see in just within a year how much of a big change they gave, because they did not have what they had. So I feel like next year we will be getting a new big changes too. The foldable is obviously already worked on. I feel like that's why the majority of the people were talking about, if this is what Apple can make from iPhone Air, this thing, I think people are just excited for the foldable that is next year. And same for me too. So I hope we get a foldable. We will be doing a detailed production for that in next podcast. So yeah, tune in for that in next week. So yeah, this is it for this week's episode. And next, I think next in the next week you will be getting 2 episodes in a row. Because the reason why, because we, in this month, we did not did, I think, 1 episode per a week. And that is why, because in the next episode there will be a predictions and recap episode, and then there will be a kind of another regular episode of that year. So yeah, next week 2 episodes. And then after that, like, yeah, those 2 episodes will be, I think, the last 2 episodes of 2025, and I will be seeing you guys 2026. So yeah, a lot of things to talk about, like, in the recap of 2025. Stay tuned for that episode. So yeah, that is it for this week's episode of TechGuy Podcast. As always, comment on your thoughts regarding the deal that I talked about. Comment down your thoughts regarding Apple. What do you think they will, what are your thoughts regarding their internal chaos? And also, yeah, always feedback is appreciated. And I will be looking forward to guys talking to you guys next week. So yeah, this is it for this week's episode of the Tech Guy Podcast. I will see you guys next week.